Hello there, my name is Makars, and in this video I basically want to showcase new features that I added in Blockbuster BBS mod 1.4.4, and basically I wanted to make it a bigger update with stuff like I shown in the yesterday or the day before video with shaded curves, but it's still not ready and has a lot of things that has to be added in order for it to be sufficient, I think, because like it does allow you to change a lot of number of different parameters in the shaders. How some of the parameters don't get included, and there's also one more cool feature that I didn't even show yet. I'm probably gonna post it in a couple of days as the showcase for it, but yeah, I wanted to first do this small update with some fixes and cool UX features. Let's get into the first feature. So the first feature is shader shadows. I'm gonna enable the shaders, and I'm gonna grab a model block. So sometimes you need for the model to have no shader shadows. At the moment, my character has shaders. Oh, I don't even need a model block. As you can see in the background, I have a shadow cast from my character. Let's say I don't need it because like I need the background to be white or like chroma key color or something like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and we're gonna copy form, paste it, and I'm gonna, in the general settings, I'm gonna disable shaders shadows. So now my character doesn't cast any shadows. So yeah, this is useful for stuff like that when you have to enable. By default, it seems like model blocks don't cast shadows, but that's because in the shader options, the entity shadows are disabled. Alright, next we have extended duration button to audio clip editor. So let's go and create a new clip, not clip, a film. And let's say I'm gonna add some audio file that I already like have here. Well, if I want to like extend it, I have to do it manually. But in the new, and it's really not that pleasant to do. Like it's some routine that you didn't have to do. So I added a extend this clip's duration button, which allows you to just like change its duration to whatever the duration of the audio file is. I can do it with any absolutely audio file I have here. I'm going to be even longer, or if I have a smaller one, then I can have it short and stuff like that. This saves some time and energy. Next, we have translate option to anchor track. So what does, it's like by default, if you have, let's say, an actor, let's say I'm gonna move him over here, and wait, probably I don't need him to be sneaking. And another object, for example, it's gonna be a baseball bat over here in props. If I'm going to animate his like anchor from here to here, course to the, so it's right arm item. Let's see. If I'm going to scale my character, where it's transform 5 times much, you would see that the baseball bat also scaled with him, and whenever I also pose the character over here, it also rotates. Sometimes you don't need that, and for this purpose, there is an option called translate, which is just gonna move the actor, the replay, to the place where it's supposed to be, but it's not gonna translate. This is useful. For example, let's say you have a growing monster and you need to make a character to like to get secured to it or something like that. For example, instead of baseball bat, that would be this girl, and she be like, I don't know, like Monster Slayer or something like that. Not Slayer, but yeah. and she's like, oh, I need to go and find the, I don't know, like some kind of like a big point, so I could, I don't know, defeat this guy. So let's say, and she like jumps and then secures herself to this monster. Yeah, probably should have picked a different skin. But yeah, let's say in this story this is a monster, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna defeat him by, I guess, jumping on the arm and then, I guess, jabbing him. Anyways, so this is what the translate option is for. If I gonna disable translate, this is how it's gonna look like. I don't think that's how heroes climb over to the monster and then defeat him. Anyways, next we have a reference texture editor to the texture editor. So sometimes, actually quite frequently, if you are an avid user of the ice rigs, you would need to edit the skin so that it would basically have eye holes and then also the adjustments to the eye skin so it would actually copy it. So this is done. So before that, I showed in the tutorial that you had to go and like open a different program, copy eyes and stuff like that. That's too much hassle. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, for example, the default Alex skin, and then I'm gonna, so basically you have now here two texture editors basically. I'm gonna take these colors, then this guy. So I think here, basically, because this is the top part and this is the bottom part, I'm gonna take this color of the white stuff, and also probably should have also added a feature to bucket fill. In any case, then we have here also these guys, and then the color of the skin for these are top lids, top eyelids, and these are the eye walls. So yeah, now I can save it. So it was girls, and I think 7 PNG, right? Yes, it was 7 PNG, and now I need to also like remove the arms. And by the way, for picking the color on the texture, it's R key. And now I'm gonna remove also, maybe like that, these additional pixels that basically are the, what's called, the eyebrows. Now I can save it as a 7 and E. Control enter to confirm basically. And now I can add the ice rig as a body part. Control clicking on the head to select the limb. So it's this one, pick texture, 7, bring it down, and now we have perfectly set up texture for the ice rig to use. Now we can edit the texture without actually like going to another program, which is very time saving, I think. All right, going further, we have envelope modes. Let's say I'm going to create a 5-tick shake. So probably here, that's not frequent enough. What I'm going to do is basically what I want to do is to have so that would shake and have like an impactful. Let's say, well, what you can do if you enable, you would see there's like it's not correctly set up. You can manually change it with pressing comma and period key at the same time. So this guy said fade in and fade out from the cursor. However, now I added also different modes, for example, fade out. And if I set it to 0, it would always be of the length 4 fade out and fade in types of the modes, basically. So this way, I can probably fade out quadratic in. So this is basically something like an impact shake. So let's say something blows up, I guess. I don't know. And this way I can like add multiple impacts of shake, something like that. So yeah, this is useful. I'm not really sure whether it's time saving, but I'm sure it's useful. And finally, let's say you have camera stop, something like that, and you use the cutting feature in order to separate by different shots. You, let's say, move it here, then move it here, something like that. But now, all of these are idles, and you need them to be of a different kind. For example, you need them to be dolly, something like that. But in the previous version, you have to go and select each one of those and convert. However, in this update, you can just take and convert all of them at once. If you have a different one, if not it's a circular one, and you try to convert it, it's not gonna work. You have to, so that the selection be only of the same kind. So now all of these are dollies. So yeah, this is the useful stuff I have here. There are more fixes and changes. You can see the entire changelog in the description. So yeah, that's it. Bye.